Welcome to the Quimbee program, Vaccine Law 101. I am your faculty, Brian Dean Abramson. I am the lead author of the legal treatise Vaccine, Vaccination, and Immunization Law, published by Bloomberg Law and the American Health Law Association in 2018, with a second edition forthcoming in 2022. I am also an adjunct professor of vaccine law at the Florida International University College of Law. Due to the importance of vaccines in human civilization, legal structures have been developed that promote a general public policy interest in vaccination of the population against various contagious diseases. There are 5 major areas of vaccine law: government regulation of the development, testing, marketing, and distribution of vaccines, ownership of intellectual property rights relating to vaccines, funding of the development and distribution of vaccines and ensuring of access to recipients, vaccination mandates as a prerequisite to the access of rights such as education or employment, and compensating adverse events alleged to have been caused by vaccines. This course covers the first of these areas, vaccine regulation. In order to fully understand the current state of vaccine regulation, it is necessary to review the history that got us to this point. The first vaccine, the smallpox vaccine, was discovered by an English physician named Dr. Edward Jenner in 1796. Jenner understood that people who had naturally become infected with cowpox tended not to get infected with smallpox. He reasoned that if someone were intentionally infected with cowpox, they would similarly become immune to smallpox. Jenner tested his theory on the 8-year-old son of his gardener, first infecting the boy with cowpox and later exposing him to smallpox, known to be a highly deadly disease. Whether Jenner obtained fully informed consent of the boy or his parents is unknown, but no uninvolved party oversaw or even observed this effort, nor was Jenner required to provide his results to any governing body for review. Such an experiment would be considered highly unethical today, and would in fact be illegal in most places. Jenner also reported his results based on that extremely small sample size of 1 test subject, a much less controlled situation than would be allowed today. Nevertheless, when Jenner published his findings, the results were quickly acclaimed around the world, and vaccination quickly came to be promoted in jurisdictions as far-flung as Russia, Turkey, and the United States. The King of Spain famously recruited a number of orphans to use as live carriers of the virus to sail to Spain's colonies in the Americas. One of the first U.S. federal laws in the field of health regulation was an 1813 law establishing a short-lived national vaccine agency to ensure a supply of the, quote, genuine vaccine matter, unquote, that is, the real matter that would vaccinate people against smallpox, for the smallpox vaccine. Now, the reason this was necessary was that almost immediately after Jenner's announcement of his findings and the spread of vaccination as a means to prevent smallpox, some unscrupulous people began selling false versions of the vaccine, and a federal agency was deemed to be necessary to ensure that the real version of the vaccine was distributed. However, in 1822, there was an incident in which the agent responsible for ensuring the quality of the vaccine matter accidentally distributed actual smallpox instead of the smallpox vaccine, causing a number of people to die, and the agency was repealed. This is typical of the history of pharmaceutical regulation. It is very often responsive to specific incidents which occur. There is some kind of a calamity, and in response, legislation is enacted. A very similar example of this occurred with a 1901 incident in which a retired milk horse named Jim, whose body was being used as the host for the cultivation of tens of thousands of doses of diphtheria antitoxin, somehow became infected with tetanus, leading to those doses becoming infected, in turn leading to the deaths of 13 children in the Midwestern United States. This played a very significant role in generating interest in the federal government ensuring the quality of pharmaceutical products sold in the United States, and several pieces of legislation to this effect were passed over the course of the next few years. These initial statutes established the modern framework of safety and effectiveness as the measures by which pharmaceutical products are determined to be appropriate for introduction to the market.